This is an oscilloscope on a square wave at about 535 Hertz, running through a summed perfect 5-way subtractive crossover simulation. And I'm also going to be putting an LFO on the pitch. So now the frequency is going up to about 500, down to about 100, and as you can see it remains square as it goes up and down through the crossover network. Sometimes that's just the division in the oscilloscope which does that. It's nothing to do with the wave. Now, what I have done in previous videos is I said that if you don't get the level right of your crossover individual band settings, you'll get disruptions in your perfect summing ability. And I've shown that on a magnitude graph and a phase graph and a impulse response. And now I'm showing it on an oscilloscope of the sum of the square wave starts to get a bit funny. So that's a minus 4 dB in the tweeter, and same as if you go plus 6 dB in the tweeter, you get something similar. And remember, the pitch is going up and down because I wanted to know what would happen in all of the ranges. Now also that's level in your theoretical bands. Now also time, so if you add 2 milliseconds to your tweeter, you'll also get this to your square wave. Remember, the pitch is going up and down. And if your time is early, you'll also get something like that. So that's early. This is late, so very similar. And the other things we have to do, we've done level, we've done time, is random EQ. So what I've done is I've set an EQ to be plus or minus 1.5 dB, just random. I'll turn that on now. As you can see, only a subtle variation in the tweeter down here, so nothing on the 100 Hertz. It starts to become more apparent because the tweeter's not really paying much work in that frequency range. Now let's go to the 2.5 inch and we'll do all the three things. We'll do level, 2.5 inch, not enough level will be this. Slight curves, slight shyness on the start. Too much level, there's a very different shape there, sort of sucking out the right hand side there, keeping the sharp transient though. And random EQ, if we know time first, not enough time, too early. As you can see, it's almost destroyed the square wave. Too much, too late. So that's too late. This is too early. There's sort of similar shapes going on. And then random EQ. So this is just plus or minus 1.5 dB randomly, and the waveform changing pitch. So also changing the tops quite randomly there. Now we'll move on to the mid-range, or the 6-inch speaker. Let's have a look. Not enough level. Very smoother, bigger ripples. Too much level. Sort of more destruction with too much level. So this is just plus 4 dB too much, and this is minus 4 dB not enough. So pretty sort of the same. Too early. So you get a lot more wiggles and squiggles with time smearing. Too late. Squiggles and squiggles. And random EQ. Once again, just kind of broader wobbles because its frequency range is lower in the contribution of the spectrum. 8-inch, this will keep going. Not enough level. So here it's very broad, almost like a seesaw at the end there, a roof line. Too much level, more curved out, concaved. Too early, 8-inch too early, very sharp points, and just like chopping a little bit of the square off at the end there, really weird. Too late, yeah, chopping it off at the end again. And last but not least, random EQ. So just wobble the top. All the while the pitch of that square wave is changing. Now we're going to look at, last but not least, the 12 inch, and let's go not enough level. So just slopes really, it's sort of curved. Too much level, more slopes, pointing it to the right basically. Too early, a bit similar to the 8 inch. Too late, similar to the 8 inch. And random EQ, hardly touching it there, just it's only 1 dB I guess, 1 or 2 dB. So that's it. It's basically just a appendix of things that can happen to the square wave in a perfect summing square wave system. There we go, everything's back to normal. Two things can be true at once. A system can be truly perfect and offer a great deal more sonic, revealing qualities, and at the same time it can become immensely more complex to perfect, and general errors or margins of error become critical. So I think the most critical part of the subtractive crossover network is timing. As I've shown, you can correct speakers, to within an acceptable amount, and phase will behave pretty well within 20 or 30 degrees. But the actual timing and the interlocking of how it combines to make the full waveform, which is very striking when you get it correct, but can be a little bit troublesome if you don't. And we'll just leave it there and catch you later.